Okay, now here's the deal. We're going live relatively quickly from the last video so that I can cover all the new rules that are coming out. This new rule is massive. How massive? Like it's massive. Okay, it's massive. Okay, so the bottom line is this: what I'm going to be doing is going through the summary version from NOSCR as to what's actually going on, so that you have a better understanding specifically of what the new rules and these haven't even come out yet. Like this is breaking news. Like what this video is going to be on the new setting and manner of appearance for having a disability hearing or any Social Security hearing at all. These haven't even hit. Okay, these haven't even hit the Federal Register yet. So just so you understand, like, how on top of things are we? These have not even hit the Federal Register yet. Literally, I don't know when they're going to hit the Federal Register. Let me see if it says on here. I think on the 26th. Yeah, this will be on the Federal Register basically 3 days from now. So this is how up to date this information is. Like, you're literally getting this information before the federal government even officially releases it. So if you love this channel, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe. Let's get into it right now. Okay, setting the manner and appearance of hearings. I'm just going to give you a summary because I don't have time to go through this. I don't even know how many pages this thing is. Let me check real quick. It doesn't have page numbers because our government loves to do that to us. So I don't even know, but it's a big change. All right, let's go through the summary real quick. This is from NOSCR. Effective November 23rd, 2024, right? So they just released what they're going to do today, August 23rd, and then it's going to go up on the Federal Register on the 26th, and then November 23rd, 2024, Social Security is changing their rules for setting the manner of appearance of parties and witnesses at hearings. So these are going to be the new rules basically for having a hearing in front of the Social Security Administration. You can read the full text. Bottom line is just go ahead and search basically. Here, I'll give you the actual citation number. Docket number SSA 2022-0013, 20 CFR parts 404 and 416, RIN number, again, RIN number 0960 AI71. Okay, that's what you need to look up the whole thing. I'll read it to you in another video. I don't have time today because I'm doing this during the lunch hour, excuse me, because I fell asleep last night at the computer. All right, here we go. There will remain four standard manners of appearance. Four standard manners of appearance. Agency video, which is formerly known as VTC. Okay, agency video, VTC, video telephonic hearing. Okay. Online video, formerly MS Teams, right? MS Teams is just Microsoft's system. So now they're just calling it online video. Audio, formerly phone. So it's just going to be a telephonic hearing. So just audio over the phone. And in person. Again, in person. All right, so let me go through what these things actually are. In person, you know what it is. It's simple. You understand that. You go to the hearing in person. Number two, audio. Audio is where you do a telephonic thing. It's over the phone. They can't see you. That's the one I prefer because then the claimant can have all of their notes in front of them and their sticky notes, and they can give far better testimony. People feel that sometimes the claimant should be completely mentally incapable of giving testimony. A lot of people try to fake it and act like they're just totally mentally out of it. The problem is, for the past 3 years of your life, doctors have made notes on your mental competence, which is obviously not at the reduced level that you show during the hearing. So, the judges end up saying you're a total faker out of nowhere in a really, really quick way. So just be aware of that. Number three, online video. That's where basically you do like Zooming, but it's through MS Teams, through your computer. And then there's a judge in an office somewhere that's doing it through their computer. And then there's agency video. That's where you go to the hearing office and you sit in front of basically the same thing. It's like Zoom, but it's MS Teams. And the judge is somewhere else and you're there physically at the SSA hearing office doing this hearing. That's for people who basically don't have a computer or a phone that can do MS Teams or Zoom or any of those types of video-esque programs. Okay. The agency will be releasing 3 new or revised forms related to hearing modality. Notice of ways to attend a hearing. That's just going to be the 4 ways you can have a hearing. Revised objection to appearing by video teleconferencing. That's HA 55. Agreement to appearing by online video. HA 56. Okay. After November 23rd, 2024, agency video, audio, and in-person can all be scheduled by the agency without the need for the claimant to opt in. They are all essentially default options for the agency. Here's why this is important. You used to have to give, which direction you wanted to go with. Now they're taking that right away from you and saying, we can opt you into any one of these fashions. Okay. So bottom line is the less intrusive one, especially if you're younger. If you're younger, you want to do telephonic over the phone because you don't want the judge seeing your young face and then making a decision about you sitting there smiling, bopping around in the chair, yada yada. Deb Carter, thank you for the one for the gift, the donated gift, which is absolutely amazing. It was gifted to Sandy McKnight Mueller, which is very, very cool. I absolutely love that. And it's just amazing. All the support you guys give has pushed me to make more videos to status update you. And to be fair, I only get about 10% to you of the rules and regulation changes that actually occur. I don't get all of them to you because I don't make enough videos. Like I'd have to not work at the law firm, as one of the, as an attorney with lots and lots and lots of cases and hearings. I'd have to not do that to be able to get the rest of that content to you. But it's just one of those things where, I own a law firm. I've owned it for almost 11 years. September 27th is the 11th year that I will have owned a law firm. And to be fair, your face droops and you get saggy eyes and tired face as a result of owning a law firm. It is not a pleasant game. I will tell you that. Not a pleasant game. All right. So here you go. So those are the 3 types of documents they'll be creating. Terrence Cooley, thank you for the $2 donation with the cute little fox. That's awesome. Very, very cool. After November 23rd, they're just going to pick what they want for you, and then you can opt into something else. The claimant may object to agency video and or to audio hearings, but this objection must be timely to be valid in writing, preferably on a revised Form HA55 within 30 days after the date you receive the new notice of ways to attend a hearing, Form HAL54. Online video will not be a default option and rather must be something that the claimant opts into, again in writing preferably on new Form HA56 within 30 days after receipt of the new Form HAL54. If a claimant objects to audio and agency video and does not agree to online video, the agency will schedule that claimant to appear at a hearing in person. The claimant cannot object to an in-person hearing. So just to clarify, in-person hearing is the last of the Mohegans as to options that you could potentially check, okay? So let me read that to you again because a lot of people aren't going to realize what they're saying there. They're saying there, you have to go ahead and object to these other options before you're going to get the right, basically, to have an in-person hearing. And the in-person hearing, once that's scheduled, that's it. You cannot object to an in-person hearing, right? That's the one you're going to have. That's it. That's what you're getting. Let me read it to you again. If a claimant objects to audio and agency video and does not agree to online video, so if they object to the audio and the video, that's like the in-person video where you go to their office, and they do not agree to online video, right? The agency will schedule that claimant to appear at a hearing in person. The claimant cannot object to an in-person hearing. So that's just keep in mind, they're wedging you. If you object to these things, you end up with an in-person hearing, you are in person. You're going there. You're going to be in front of the judge. Of note, the agency will generally direct anyone we call as a witness to appear by audio, agency video, or online video, meaning that we can expect all vocational and medical witnesses to continue to appear by audio or video only. So that's huge. That's a big change. These professionals, vocational experts, medical experts, used to have to come into the hearing office and give testimony. Sometimes they would call in, right? So the oddity back in like 2018, 2019 was that specifically for the vocational experts, it was that they would actually physically be there. It was a rarity when they would call in, and they would usually call it in when something happened and they could do some, but they couldn't do all because something happened in the morning, and they called the hearing office, and the vocational expert was like, I can't do this. I can't do all of them. Something happened. Now the rule is going to be automatically medical experts, vocational experts, automatically they are going to de facto be basically presented in the hearing, whether the hearing is audio, video at the SSA, or in person. They will be appearing by video or telephone. That's usually telephone. In the limited circumstances where oral arguments before the appeals council are warranted, the agency will also make agency video, online video, audio, and in-person options standard. So basically, COVID has changed the SSA. The days of constantly having in person, they're over, right? It's going to be a very, very rare day when people take the in-person option. With that said, even your oral arguments in front of the appeals council now, as a result, will essentially become potentially by video, by telephone. Okay. Now, NOSCR, the group that basically represents the representatives, is pleased that the agency chose to permanently adopt this successful audio hearing format, allowing claimants continued access to flexible modality options. While we have not yet seen the agency's new hearing selection and objection forms, we anticipate that once released, members will be able to utilize those forms and discontinue the use of NOSCR hearing format election forms. So, with that said, expect even more of this world where you're going to be using video telephonic or just telephonic hearings. Again, the strategy is, if you're a younger person, you go with telephonic. You don't want them looking at your face. You don't want them seeing your happy, smiley, bopping around, kind of moving in your chair kind of face. And then, of course, the other major advantage of having telephonic hearings is that the judges can't see your notes in front of you. So when it comes to what are your top 5 medical conditions, what are, when did each begin? When did they become severe enough to keep you from working? What are 2 symptoms for each? What are 2 signs for each? What are your medications? What are the side effects? What jobs did you have? What functions can't you perform at those old jobs that you used to do? You could have all that written out and have a better shot at actually being successful with the hearing. However, some people still want to have an in-person hearing. I will still once or twice a year get a claimant where I look at the claim and I'm like, okay, do I want to take this claim? Do I not want to take this claim? And the claimant will be one of those types of individuals who only wants to meet in person every time we talk. I don't take those claims anymore. There's no point to them. There's just absolutely no way that can be done. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's the way it used to be. Now, we as attorneys used to have fewer claims for the period of time, like a year. Now we have to have more claims because of the massive devaluation of the dollar. So what's happening is they're boosting what attorneys make, but the problem is they're not giving us the 33%. They're only keeping us at the 25%. So we're still making way less than most other attorneys that do this kind of law. So it's happening now is because of massive, basically devaluation of the dollar. And albeit you guys think groceries are expensive, you should see what the cost of business office supplies are. Groceries are cheap compared to the cost of business office supplies. Paper, okay, went from 25 to 27 bucks per big ream, like the big box. Now it's over $50. Right? Just to clarify, if you're thinking like, hey, we got it bad in the grocery store. No, the businesses, what they have to buy to go ahead and continue to be in business, it's very, very bad. It's very expensive. So the point is now disability attorneys, as a result of all of this, have to take more claims. There's no way disability attorneys are going back to going to the hearing office, sitting there for an hour waiting for the judge, to actually have the hearing an hour late and then doing the hearing and then having to drive back to the office. Those worlds are dead. There's no way. That's because we make so little per claim. And that's the thing is a lot of these claims, a lot of my SSI claims, I'll work with that person for 3 years. The last check we literally got was for I think it was $200 for representing somebody for 3 years. And that's because they changed the alleged onset date and they reduced their SSI down to a super small amount because they claimed somebody else had earnings through the deeming of the 5-step sequential. We're fighting it. But again, it's absolute insanity at this point when it comes to this stuff. So there's going to have to be a change for attorneys to represent people in this field, because what's happening is attorneys in this field are having to pull back the services that they could provide because there's no money in it. Like even when we get a claim. Now, this is what the big box firms have always done, and they'll just keep doing this. This is how they maximize the profit. Because, big box firms, it's about what's the bottom line dollar of how much you pulled in per attorney. What they do is they take the claim on, do the very, minimum processing, motions, appeals to get it to the hearing level, because only at the hearing level can the attorney actually get a decent sized check if they don't move the alleged onset date massively forward. So the bottom line is that's their game. That's how they do it. That's how they maximize profit. They don't work to try and win the claim earlier. But I'm going to tell you this. There's not going to be any law firms over the next couple of years because of the inflation that can afford to constantly try and win your claim at each step. It's just not going to exist. It's just not going to exist. And the problem is this too. If you don't have an attorney early on to go ahead and cross-check the things that you're putting down in your 3373 form, the statements that you're making about your job, your at-home stuff, your this, your that, to direct you on what's in the record, looking at the medical evidence that's been provided from your doctors, explaining to you why this needs to be changed, how you need to update this, what you should be getting to be within statute. If you don't have that, by the time you get to hearing, there's no time for you to actually fix it. So that when you have a hearing down the line, if the DDS rep said no, deny, and you get your best shot with the highest percent passage rate at the judge, at that point, your record will be set as it is, which will decrease significantly the amount of people who are found disabled, which, to be fair, is kind of linear with where politicians, the agency, are at when it comes to how wide the doors they want open for people to be able to receive Social Security disability benefits. It does seem odd that we had almost 4 years of massive immigration, hundreds of thousands of new potential immigrants going on to SSI benefits, and that will grow. That will grow as more of them sign up and get into it. It is weird how poorly we treat Americans as a United States federal government. It is weird how little money and time and effort we spend on Americans. Just to give you an idea, and this is going to manipulate your brain to think of it as another way, okay? U.S. government, U.S. citizens, how poorly they're treated. We are literally like abused, kids that live under the stairs. We're like abused people by our federal government. Let me give you an example. If you go to a super high-end school, right? The super high-end school will charge you a lot of money, and hopefully they will spend a lot of that money on actually having you potentially have more money spent on you, whether they're giving you better food, better housing, better books, better teachers, more time with you. Classes are longer. You have more alternative options for classes. Your classes include more categories that you could potentially go into, more different topics and veins of knowledge that you could have. So if a school, right, spends more on you, they normally have to charge more. But the ratio of how much they take in from you, how much you spend on them, and then how much they actually give back to you, that's what's important. What you spend and what you get for it. What you spend and what you get back from that thing you spent money on is what's important. Some of those schools have really, really amazing rates. Like, people think Harvard's amazing. It's not. Yale is amazing. Harvard, not so much in that area. So as a result of that, where are we with America? Well, we spend a ton on taxes with America. We pay a lot to be an American citizen, but we get very, very little as a comparison point for how much we pay in taxes. Some of you will say, well, there's other countries that charge way more taxes and than America. The outliers are, but not the mega countries. The mega countries, we tax heavily. We take a lot of the American dollar and don't spend it on Americans. And that's a very, very big problem. And I think that's what's coming up with this whole election thing. I think that's what's the whole thing is. That's why people are so riled up, because some people are saying, okay, well, we couldn't get it done in 4 years. Give me another 4 years and then we'll change our ways. And then the other people are saying, why? Right? Why would we do that? And so that's why we're going to see such a hot and heated election cycle. All right. With all of that said, I will catch you guys a little bit later. The next video I'm going to be doing will be in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, because remember, I only get this lunch break to do this and a little bit of time after that. So here's the bottom line. In 5 minutes, I'll do the next video where I go live to answer questions. I didn't last night because I fell asleep on my computer. Bottom line is, if you like these videos, please remember to like and subscribe. Also, head over to Google, type in Disability Resolution Law Firm, Disability Resolution Florida, and throw some stars up there. We love to see the 5 stars. They're absolutely amazing. I will catch you soon at basically the next, I will catch you soon at the next video where I go live for 30 minutes to answer your questions about Social Security benefits. If you do have a question, you want a private session, right below is basically a mini contract where you can hire me for an hour. I will catch you a little bit later. We'll catch up soon, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.